Mercieca, and I'm an associate professor in the Department of Communication. The book's called Founding Fictions, and it was just published this year from the University of Alabama Press. And it is a book that is a history of how the first two generations of Americans talked about what it means to have a government based on the will of the people. So I wanted to know more about political theory. I wanted to learn more about the history of American democracy. And in particular, I wanted to learn more about the history of how American citizens were imagined to participate in the political process, right? So if all of these studies were saying that they didn't participate and that was a problem, why is that a problem? How is it that citizens are supposed to act in the government? So what I argue is that if we reconceive of political theory as political fiction, right, as something that people imagine in terms of how the government is going to function, it's a story that we tell ourselves about the government. It doesn't sound as intimidating as it does if you call it political theory. Political theory sounds scary. Political fiction sounds like something that we could all, relate to. And so what I argue is that political theory is a blend of rhetoric, poetic, and dialectical language. After I establish this idea of a political fiction, I say, okay, well, so then how did the first two generations of Americans create their political fictions? And how did they use those fictions to imagine what citizens can do in the government? Americans were to read my book and recognize what positioning themselves as partisans has done, they might start to question the party process. They might recognize that treating themselves as partisans actually takes power away from them, right? That supporting the party is not the same thing as working for the common good.